me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
We wanted to create a show for really the truly unsung heroes of Parks and Recreation, the backbone of Parks and Recreation. At least half of all the effort going into Parks and Recreation, when I say effort, manpower, brain power, finances, goes into just maintaining what we got. And so imagine this massive, 50, 100 million, 200 million real estate portfolio in your city, and a lot of money to maintain these facilities, these green spaces, these community centers, aquatic centers. This is all done by your maintenance crews.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, where we spotlight the voices shaping the future of parks and recreation. Today, we dive into a question that defines our industry. Why Parks and Rec? Behind every playground built, every league coached, every green space preserved, there's a leader who chose this path not as a job, but as a calling. You'll hear how Parks and Recreation professionals don't just maintain facilities, they build confidence, create safe spaces, and design moments that become lifelong memories. From inspiring young athletes to strengthening communities, these leaders remind us that Parks and Rec is more than a career. It's a legacy. So whether you're a student considering your future, a young professional just starting out, or a veteran director looking for fresh inspiration, this series is for you. Let's step into the stories, the challenges, and the wisdom that prove why leadership in Parks and Rec matters now more than ever. Let's dive in.
All right, we are finally live here. Sorry it's taken me so long. I had a couple of glitches. My internet went down, so I ran to the local coffee house. But anyway, here we are. Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. I have a special treat for y'all. Hopefully the background noise isn't too loud. Here at CC's Coffee. For those of you not from Louisiana, you should check out a CC's Coffee. It's kind of like our local Starbucks, but great coffee. I think it's the state coffee or something. Anyway, all right. I have something super special let me put my banners up real quick. Hold on. I've got a little house cleaning to do. There we go. And we like the bubble. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Chris has finally made or not finally, I asked him to make something for the industry that would, we've been talking a lot about why should you consider the Parks and Rec industry as a career path? And we have just gotten some amazing answers. And so I asked Chris to make a kind of collage of, not a collage, but with all that information and testimonies about the industry, why people have dedicated their life to Parks and Recreation. I was like, let's make something for them, for the whole industry, so that we can share with other, college kids, young professionals that may not know what they want to do with their life. This is kind of like a promo for the entire industry. So here goes a commercial for the Parks and Rec industry. This is hot off the press. I got it yesterday. So many of y'all, this is going to be the first time many of us have seen it. So let's go ahead and press it and play it and let me know what y'all think.
Every career is a choice, but few careers let you touch lives. Not once in a while, but every single day. Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field, families gathering for a picnic, seniors walking the trails, finding health and friendship. And behind every smile, every memory, is a Parks and Rec professional. We don't just mow fields, we grow confidence in young athletes. We don't just build playgrounds, we create safe spaces where childhood thrives. We don't just plan events, we design moments that anchor generations. Think of the coach who teaches patience, the director who champions equity, the staff member who sees potential in a child no one else believed in. Every day, Parks and Rec professionals shape character, preserve beauty, and strengthen community. And the path isn't easy. Budgets are tight, resources stretched thin, but the reward, unmatched. Because what you give comes back in legacy, in healthier communities, in lives forever changed. So why dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation? Because here, your work never ends. It lives on, in laughter echoing across playgrounds, in green spaces preserved for the next century, in the young professionals rising to lead tomorrow. This is not just a career, it's a calling, it's a legacy, it's Parks and Recreation. A message from the Parks and Rec community.
Man, I get goosebumps every time I played it. I think I played it like 20 times since Chris sent it to me. But it really is, after we've collected all the responses of, and you'll notice that at the end of the shows, we have a tradition where I say, okay, imagine you're in front of a classroom of undecided high school or college kids that really don't know what they want to do with their life, what career they want to pursue. What is your sales pitch? What is your why? Let's give a good testimony to these kids as to why they would want to dedicate their life to Parks and Recreation. And the responses I've gotten have just been crazy good. And so I had one of the ideas over the weekend. I told Chris, I said, hey, why don't you make a commercial for the industry that everybody can share and everybody can play, something that you may want to give. You may want to play in front of your part-time workers during orientation, something that can just give you, give a testimony to the industry. And we've had a lot of, probably 150 directors, I think I've asked that question to live on the show. And some of the responses, I was just like, man, that is just so good. I wish everybody can hear that. Josh gave a great, for those of you who hadn't seen yesterday's episode, Josh out in Boston gave an amazing, one of the best answers I think I've heard. And really all the answers are super high quality. But I was like, surely we can make something. It's kind of like a promo for the industry. So here we go. A gift from the Daily Parks and Rec Show, a gift from DPRS Media to the industry of Parks and Rec. We made y'all a promo that you can play to any young professional, to any college kid, to any intern, to any high school part-time workers or camp counselors or lifeguards to plant that seed. And so this is kind of, if you don't quite know what to say, just play this and allow the collective wisdom, the collective wise of Park and Rec directors from across the country speak for you. And they just did an amazing job. And Chris, you did a fantastic job putting that together. So sorry, let me adjust my camera a little bit. This is definitely the show on the road here. But you know what? I'm getting ready to take the show on the road to NRPA, which is coming up in just a few short weeks. What do we have, like 2 weeks left? Not next week, but the following week, something like that. Here we go. I'm going to get the exact date on that. Okay, so I know I'm not telling one anything they don't already know, but we got this week and we got next week. And after that, 16th, 17th, 18th, I'll be there on the 15th. We have got NRPA in Orlando. Be there or be square. We will be airing. Let me go ahead and pull up the list of people that I will be interviewing so far. So hopefully there's still a few slots left, especially on Wednesday. Let me see. Yeah. Shrink that down a little bit. Oh, that's terrible. You won't be able to read that. All right, this ought to be good enough. I'm going to do a share screen with everyone listening. Let's see. I'm still learning this tech. You'd think after 238 interviews, I would be better at it, but it takes time to master anything, right? Share screen. Here we go. Share. Bam. Okay. So what are you looking at here? This is everyone that we are interviewing. So we're going to do 15 to 20-minute live interviews from NRPA in the common area. I'm probably going to find the big food court that every convention center that I've ever been to for Parks and Rec has. And we're just going to set up at a table, kind of like I am at this coffee house. And we are just going to air live from, and I've done this multiple times, but never at this scale. I think I've interviewed maybe 10 to 15 interviews. I think we're already up to, well, according to this spreadsheet, I am slated to interview 26 so far. That's that number. 13 interviews on the Tuesday, starting with my co-host, Aaron Locks, and another great vendor that's coming on board with us. He's the founder of Beast Hack, Keaton Smith. They will both be there. And then our one of our big sponsors, Outdoor Link, David Ramirez. He is a former Park and Rec director that, like many people, when they retire from Parks and Rec, as if you could ever retire from Parks and Rec, they go to the vendor side and start working for the vendors that serve the community of Parks and Rec for decades, right? And Outdoor Link is one of those great vendors. They have a really cool technology that allows you to turn off stuff with a cell phone. And they have in-house designers. They have, and when I say designers, the people that built the app work for Outdoor Link. They didn't third-party anything. They wrote the code. They have a phenomenal app. It's so clean and crisp. And to prove how crisp it is, the onboarding process takes about 10 minutes to learn. And so you get their little device, and then you can turn on entire baseball fields, sports complexes, parking lots, switches for gates, bathroom door locks, everything, all from your cell phone, from your iPad, from your laptop. You can share access to coaches. So guess what? We get to delete all those keys and padlocks that we issue out to coaches during season. And now it's all a cell phone app. So this is part of the smart city push that we're all moving towards. And so this is kind of like an Outdoor Link, almost, I don't know if they're commercial, but I'm just introducing them to everybody. Now, many of you have seen Outdoor Link at a booth, because they have I think they're going to almost every single Park and Rec state convention. Of course, they're going to be at NRPA, and they're sponsoring the big event. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're sponsoring the opening event or the opening dinner or something, but they're a premier sponsor for NRPA and most state events. And David and Tasha are just making the rounds, and they have already got many satisfied clients. And I got exposed to them when they were switching on and off my old LED light company for a couple of the park systems that I was doing business with already. So anyway, David is going to be, and I think Tasha's coming on as well later that day. And we've got Megan Kuehl, Jonathan, the famous Jonathan Penn, the captain of the ship over at Henry County, Georgia, also a co-creator for the Rec Room, is coming on at 11. We've got Leroy Chafin with Decrolite coming on after that. We've got Atulia, one of our great interviewees from Chapel Hill. Jason Jones, he hasn't come on the show yet. I think he's scheduled to come on the show, but we're going to give a little sneak peek. He's doing some great work, bringing health and wellness into Parks and Recreation. A lot of good data there. Then we've got Paula, formerly with Toro, now with the Field Management Association, Sports Field Management Association. We're going to be creating something special with them. We've got Greg Bison coming on from Exeter, New Hampshire. That was a recommendation from Molly, the famous Molly Keys. Shout out to Molly Keys. She is the current president of YPN, followed by Jason Hermes, somebody I've met with Amelia. We've just been chatting it up. I think we've just become like best friends online now. So shout out to Jason if you're listening. And then, of course, I had to get Liddy Gutfeld. She is one of our biggest supporters out in California. She is a force to be reckoned with. So I'm excited to have her. And she's actually going to do a part 2 with us. Liddy is. And then followed by, it's probably going to be the last interview. I still have a 3:30 slot if anybody wants to slide into that one. Let me go ahead and do a little copy paste here. Just wanted to make sure that y'all know that this is not AI generated content here. John Prue, he has been with MWR, which for those of you who don't know, it's pretty much the military's Parks and Rec, 300 bases globally. We're going to try to create a weekly or a monthly show just for MWR. That's all in the works. So that's 2 shows that I've mentioned that are coming up. These are going to be weekly shows. We're going to do an Internet of Things show. And our lead strategic partner, as I said before, is Outdoor Link. But we're still looking for 3 more strategic partners to create a weekly podcast, all on Internet of Things. So if Internet of Things and connectivity and kind of tech is something you do in Parks and Rec industry, hop on. We only got 3 more spots for that Internet of Things podcast. Outdoor Link is already out the gates running. Another one is going to be, like I said, MWR. We'll have another weekly podcast with that crew. And then let's go to Wednesday. We've got Kim Bybee, who is leading the charge on all things robotics. I think they probably are the most advanced robotics Parks and Rec department in Carrollton, Texas. I want to say they're up to like 20 robots, autonomous, either field sprayers, mowers, and even got a massive quadcopter that can lift a 150-pound payload and spray pesticides, fertilizers, whatever on the field. So I want to get an update on that. And then we have our incoming chair from Connecticut, Bristol, Connecticut, Dr. Joshua T. Menderos he's actually getting, I guess, sworn in, whatever they do, to hand the torch. And I think he'll be the chair for NRPA for a couple of years after that. And then the infamous Thomas White, also hailing from Henry County, Georgia, also another force to be reckoned with. He is basically the cannon at the disposal of Henry County, Georgia. This man, let me tell you, he's a great example to follow. So I'm excited about having him on here. And then we also have the famous Gabby Vera from Lake Havasu City. She's going to come on at 11:30. This is our Tuesday. We've got Morrisville, Cindy King. I think she's the incoming president for North Carolina Parks and Rec Association. And then we have Randy Alvarez. He is one of our own. He is working with us to help bring on sponsors and a couple other things. So he'll be coming on as well. He is the 4-time president of LRPA and has just been a stabilizing force for decades with LRPA. Probably the most, if I had to pick somebody in Louisiana that has been the most involved with everything LRPA, Randy is the guy. So he'll be on. Garrett James, of course, a regular on the show for the facilities maintenance show over in Texas. And then we've got Lisa Paradis with, and excuse me if I'm butchering these names here. I'm trying to roll through them, with Barry Dunn. She's coming on at 2 p.m., followed by Courtney Sung with Rec Technologies, and another Brian Dixon. He's going to come on. He's also with Henry County, Georgia. Got a lot of spots for Henry County, Georgia, but they're co-creating with me, and they're just an amazing team. Everything involved with facilities maintenance, he is a master. And you can see now we'll move to Thursday, our final day that we'll be interviewing. Molly Keys has the first slot, followed by Janelle Bailey, with slot number 2. So look at all this open space we have still left, probably about, 10, 15 slots left. So if you would like to interview, if you'd like to come on live from the convention for just a quick 15, 20-minute interview. It's not an in-depth 1 hour long like we normally do. Hit me up on LinkedIn. I know Aaron's trying to get a couple of guys in there for the Youth Sports Mastery Show. He'll be helping me kind of man the stage a little bit. Get them before they go. I've kind of backed off on recruiting people to give a few people that are interested to hit me up on LinkedIn, save a few slots, but I think by this weekend, I'm just going to go and fill the rest of them up, whatever Aaron doesn't take. And so you'd like to come on and tell us how you're enjoying the convention, maybe a little testimony about what you're doing, especially if you're giving a talk there, maybe you can come tell us a little bit about your talk. But that's going to be something special as far as, I don't think I've ever done 50 plus interviews in one, but I think we'll probably hit about 50. Now, we are also, I'm going to do a little meetup right after on that Tuesday from 4 to 6. Me and a lot of the people from the Daily Parks and Rec Show will be there. If you'd like to meet us in person, please just stop by, say hello, snap a picture, selfie, whatever. I'd love to meet y'all. Even if you don't want to come, you're not required to come on live. But if you'd like to, well, you're going to have to hit me up before the convention starts, because we'll have everybody slated to go. I will be sending out a few questions that I'll be asking. If you're a vendor, I'll ask a few questions about that. I'd like you to give a testimony to why attending NRPA has been so important for your company, the types of business that you got. We want to give kind of a promo to NRPA, try to help them out because they're doing some great work. And then if you are a Park and Rec director, or you work in the Parks and Rec industry, I'll have a separate list of questions for you. Also, I'd like you to give a testimony to the convention. We want to support the convention as much as possible. NRPA has been putting on these conventions since forever. They've been around for so long, they're kind of like the furniture in Parks and Rec, and they're just doing a great job with what they're doing. Any convention that I've attended was just so well put together. So shout out to everyone that's putting on the convention in Orlando. It's a lot of work and prep that goes into it. Pretty much, I think at the end of this convention, they start planning the next one. And I think they've got the next dates scheduled till 2030, 2031. And I know they will be coming to New Orleans, my hometown. I want to say it's in 28 or 29. So looking forward to that. But yeah, so if you'd like to come onto the show, get in there quick. And now I'm just going to play our regular thank you to everyone. I keep saying this is the last time y'all are going to hear it, but I kind of paused Chris to create that commercial for y'all as a gift to y'all. And then eventually we'll be replacing this one. But we'll play this, keep getting a little more mileage out of it, and then I'll be right back.
From a simple mic in a rec center to a full-scale media company for the people who power our parks. 200 real stories, 5 original shows, and more to come, with one powerful mission: to lift up the voices of Parks and Rec professionals across the country. From maintenance crews and young interns and youths who love sports, to directors and public servants making a difference. We've built a platform that honors the unsung heroes behind every clean trail, every weekend tournament, every safe, welcoming park. This milestone isn't just about the content, it's about the people, the passion, the purpose. To every guest, listener, and supporter, thank you. The next chapter starts today. This is DPRS Media Co. Media for public service.
All right, so for those new listeners to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, that was a promo we made when we crossed 200. We're already at episode 238. And as you can see, we're entering what I'm calling the third phase of DPRS Media Co. Our goal is to create a 24/7 network that just runs round the clock. So just like if you want to watch sports, you can click ESPN and it's just playing sports 24/7. And it highlights all the different kind of sports. So college sports, pro sports, football, basketball, hockey, whatever. It's just sports, singular topic. Same thing with the cooking channel. Same thing with MTV. Same thing with, CNN or Fox or any other political shows, networks. We want to create we are creating a 24/7 network where Parks and Recreation can call home. And now, after creating 6 shows, we are creating 12 additional shows. We'll be creating these over the next 12 months. As I said, we have Internet of Things, the IoT show, Smart City show. That's going to be one that Outdoor Link has, that we're launching with them. And we've got, I think, 2 others right now that will probably end up on that show. We also have a show that we're putting together for software in Parks and Rec. We were in some really good discussions to launch that one. So those are 2 that are coming out. We've got another show, a 3rd show for MWR with John Frew that we're putting together. And we have another show. Now, this is one, I think this is probably going to be the most viewed show that we produce. It's going to be an esports channel. It's esports in Parks and Recreation. So here's the thought. Here's the concept. So we're going to talk on this for a little bit. Esports. Everyone knows that it's huge. It's really taking the world by storm. And I have children that have been playing esports, whether it's Call of Duty, whether it's Roblox, whether it's what's that other big one that the kids play? Come on, help me here. Caffeine's still kicking in. Fortnite. There we go. Fortnite. I think one of the biggest games in the world. And so I guess about 2 or 3 years ago, I went to a state association and they were like, we're going to make a game room with computers and keyboards and gaming chairs, maybe 10 to 20 of them. And it's going to be in one of the community center rooms. And then kids that maybe aren't very athletic, but they're massive on gaming and stuff, now they have a place that they can come into the Parks and Rec facilities and communities and play esports, right? And so this is exploding. And so we had a rec room. This is our Wednesday show, second Wednesday of every month. If you haven't seen it, let me throw up the logo just to promote that a little bit. Let's see, where is my logos? Here we go. Okay. So there's the rec room. Now, our last show was on esports, and John, who runs the esports facility for Henry County, Georgia, came on with a couple others, and we just did an entire show in esports. So after that weekend, I was like, hey, you know how we run these like tournaments where you'll have like a baseball league, and you have like maybe 15 local Parks and Rec departments, and they all form their little teams and they compete in baseball. Well, with esports, we could do that nationwide. We could, so we kind of did a little market research and was like, okay, Saturday seems to be the day. And so I think we're going to do like a Saturday, 2 to 5 Eastern. We'll start doing league play so that you can make a little esports team and you'll be able to compete against, we're going to start out with 10 cities and then we'll expand it out to 20 and 40. And once we get our tech set up and I figured out how to live stream this to Twitch, which I know StreamYard can do it, then we could start a nationwide esports league all through Parks and Rec, but it's all exclusive to the Parks and Rec industry. And so me and a couple other guys have been kind of kicking this around. And so we're going to do it. And it's going to be its own Saturday show. And it's just going to be live esports league competition for Parks and Recreation. And that's going to be one of our next launches. So that's like 4 shows we're working on launching. Now we do have a lot of others. We're still working on urban forestry. We're still working on aquatics. We're still working on finance. We still want to do a Financial Friday. And I'm actually talking with some vendors that, you know, they work in the world of grant writing, finance, accounting, and what's the big one? Master planning. There's a massive one. To create Financial Friday shows. So we've got about 4 that are pretty much already set. We're launching. We're coming up with logos. We're setting times. We've got Slack channels for this. But then we've got another 4 that we're still kind of building. And as I said, in phase 3, we're going to have 12 new shows over the next 12 months. And of course, I'm going to have to be pulling on a couple more show hosts because I can't just live online 24/7 hosting a lot of this stuff. But that's going to be what we're doing in phase 3. Sorry, got a call coming in. So you can be looking for that. A lot of exciting stuff happening here. Now, we are still pushing the facilities maintenance show. Let me go ahead, and for those that are new to the show, we'll run through some of these promos, and then I'll explain a little bit about what they are. And so we still have a Friday show. It's kind of spotty, a Monday through Thursday show, all on facilities maintenance. Again, we're still working on that. We'll go ahead and play this promo that we have for facilities maintenance, and then we'll come right back.
Behind every thriving park, every safe playground, every event-ready field, there's a team working before sunrise and long after sunset. This is Facility Maintenance, the only show created for and by the unsung heroes of parks and recreation. Brought to you by DPRS Media Co, where real work gets real recognition. From restrooms to rec centers, HVAC to turf tech, we go beyond the job site into the heart of operations that keep our communities moving. Our mission? To elevate maintenance teams through stories, solutions, and shared experience. Our vision? A world where every facility crew is seen, valued, and fully supported. Each episode features operators, innovators, and leaders, sharing tools, tech, and tactics that make the impossible look easy. Facility maintenance isn't just a job, it's purpose, it's passion, and now it's a show. Facility Maintenance, where tools meet purpose, where work becomes legacy.
All right, so you get the idea for that one. Oh, and look, we even have a logo for it. Let me pop that up. This is our facilities maintenance logo. Boom. There you go. All right, so if you are a park and rec superintendent, or you're just managing a crew, we've had several really good guys from all over the country. And the one that comes to mind is James Garrett, because he's coming on the show live with us at NRPA. But we wanted to create a show for really the truly unsung heroes of Parks and Recreation, the backbone of Parks and Recreation, which, the leaders of Parks and Rec, they basically commit the Parks and Rec department to something, and then the Parks and Rec maintenance crews are the ones that get it done. And that's, by many people's measurements, that's at least half of all the effort going into Parks and Recreation. When I say effort, manpower, brain power, finances goes into just maintaining what we got. And so imagine this massive, 50, 100 million, 200 million real estate portfolio in your city. You have to have a fleet of equipment, crews, and a lot of money to maintain these facilities, these green spaces, these community centers, aquatic centers. This is all done by your maintenance crews. And so we have a show dedicated just for y'all. Basically, it's a 10:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday show, all things facilities maintenance. Now, if you are a vendor that, sells to them, this would be a great show for you to help sponsor, to help us create this and build this one out. This is a huge lift because it's such a big part of what Parks and Recreation is. Okay, so that's facilities maintenance. Let me go over the next one. Okay, we've got Youth Sports Mastery. This is our host is Aaron Locks. He is the founder of the National Academy of Athletics. He has 4 decades in the industry of youth sports, and he agreed. How long has it been, Aaron? Let's see. I think probably 4 or 5 months. He has been creating the Youth Sports Mastery Show, bringing on some of the best coaches in the world, some of the best athletic directors. This guy is so well networked across the country, and he just the content he produces, I just cannot say enough about it. And I'm even bringing on some of his guests onto the leadership series. But that's a Thursday show. Every Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. It's a weekly show. If you haven't caught that and you're in youth sports, you're really missing out. I'm going to play the promo that we made for him. Again, this is our 1.0. They're still working on the 2.0 on this one, but it'll kind of explain a little bit about the culture of the YSM show. Really about catering to all young athletes, not just those that are going to be D1 athletes, but those that really are just looking for those coaching lessons. And these are our future engineers, accountants, doctors, whatever. So we'll play this promo, for our Thursday Youth Sports Mastery Show, and then we'll come right back and talk about some of our other shows.
At DPRS Media Co, we don't just create content, we elevate community through storytelling. Now, we're proud to introduce the newest addition to the family. Welcome to Youth Sports Mastery, the podcast where champions are shaped, not just on the field, but in life. Hosted by National Academy of Athletics founder Aaron Locks. Youth Sports Mastery dives deep into how youth sports can empower kids, strengthen communities, and build leaders. From coaching culture to recreation strategy, and from player development to parent impact, every episode brings game-ready insight from the people making it happen. Youth Sports Mastery goes live every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics and powered by DPRS Media Co. This is where purpose meets play.
All right, so for those of you in youth sports, that's the show for you. And then if you're not working with Aaron's company, it is just a great company. Basically, if you want professional coaching that's already been mapped out, he has a franchise where you can work with Parks and Rec departments. He's all over the country, really. And if you just, let's say, you do baseball really well in your community and aquatics, but you really want to start a volleyball league or just volleyball, it's a service you want to offer your community. They'll take the sports that you don't, you're not quite mastering at. They'll also take whole turnkey. They'll do your, they'll run all your sports. They'll run your summer camps, turnkey. All you have to do is maintain the facilities, and they'll come in with professional coaches and run everything. That way you can focus on other things. Or you could just maybe just say, hey, look, just do the volleyball. We'll take care of everything else, or just volleyball and pickleball. But it's a great model. And then also, if you're looking to make a living just coaching youth sports, they got franchises all over the nation, and a lot of them are we've interviewed some of them on there, really good people. So I tell Aaron, you need to promote what you do more. So I'll promote it for you if not. But great company. And then he is also helping us to co-create the Youth Sports Mastery Thursday show. So definitely shout out to Aaron, my brother from another mother. And then our next show I want to promote is our Young Professionals Network. This was one of our first shows after I met Gabby Vera and Molly Keys, who are kind of running the show over there at YPN for this year. I need to find out who they're handing the torch off to. But we have a Friday show that's 52 shows a year, all on young professionals. So who are the target audience for the Young Professionals Network? Number one, the students, high school and college students that are volunteering, are in an internship program, or are part-time workers. That this is your show. Okay. That's really the target audience. The other target audience is the interns themselves that are now doing an internship in some Parks and Rec department. If you're just part of the YPN community, this is definitely your show where you come give your testimony. Also, if you are a Park and Rec director and you have an intern and you like to come on, something Molly did with one of our shows, and just talk about what the internship looks like. Typically, I'm sure everybody knows this, but I'll go ahead and say it. If you're going to graduate with a degree from a university, typically they require you to do an intern in the industry that you're studying to get a degree in. And so there's a lot of Parks and Recreation degrees that you can get in colleges. And of course, they want you to do an intern at that has something to do with that. And Parks and Rec departments are offering internship programs. So that's another good one. Another group. The other group is if you are a teacher, professor, mentor to young professionals, this is a show for you as well. And lastly, the hardest group to find is somebody that is is a Parks and Rec department. So please, if you're a Parks and Rec department that has a really good internship program, we'd love for you to come on the show. You are way more rare than you might think. I would say 1 in 100 Parks and Rec departments have a strong internship program, and that's being generous. We have found a few good ones. They have come on our show, and we've got others that are scheduled to come on the show. But if you have a good internship program, hit me up on LinkedIn. I'd love to get you on our Friday show. That's all things YPN. And so let me go ahead and play that promo real quick. I'm not even sure if I played it, but we're going to play it again just because it's so good. And then we'll be right back to talk about one other thing. All right.
Are you ready to lead the next generation of Parks and Rec? Whether you're a student, intern, or rising leader, welcome to the Young Professionals Network by DPRS Media Co. Our mission? To empower early career professionals in parks and recreation through mentorship, visibility, and real-world leadership development. Our vision? A national network of passionate, prepared, and purpose-driven leaders who shape the future of public service. Starting now. Powered by the Daily Parks and Rec Show, YPN gives you access to exclusive interviews, career-building resources, behind-the-scenes content, and live events, all created by and for the next wave of Parks and Rec professionals. Learn from seasoned directors, build your brand, get involved with national conversations that matter. Whether you're in youth sports, facilities, programming, or policy, YPN is your launchpad. Young Professionals Network, your career, your community, your story.
All right, so that's our YPN show. Excuse me. And so if you are a young professional, if you have an internship program, if you're a mentor, teacher, professor, if you're a young professional yourself, or you're just one of the volunteers, welcome you to come on that show. It's every Friday, 12 noon Eastern. I'd love to have you. Love to hear your story. Love to hear about what's going on as far as the next generation of leaders that are going to be running the entire Parks and Rec industry here in the next decade. Let's get you on here. Okay, so now I'll close out with this. As I said, in phase 3, we're looking for strategic partners, vendors that have served this community of the Parks and Rec industry for decades, that have a nationwide appeal. Their services are nationwide. We want to create content specifically for all the nuanced topics inside of Parks and Recreation. And so, as I said before, as an example, if you are in Parks and Rec finance, whether it's grant writing, strategic planning, what's the other big one? Master planning. We want to create a Friday show for you, for the industry. And so help us to co-create that and start really creating an evergreen digital library that can exist on YouTube, on our website, so that maybe people that haven't quite pulled the trigger on creating a master plan but want some insight into what it would take, we can help create that content for the whole industry. And it'll be basically a digital library where the wisdom of Parks and Rec professionals for finance and Parks and Rec can exist, and people can come and educate themselves, connect, and that kind of stuff. So we're looking for 4 strategic partners to help us build that. And then, as I said, with all the other shows, we'll have, so like when we create the esports show that's coming up pretty soon, it's going to be on Saturdays. Of course, there's going to be a lot of people that serve the esports industry. We would want your help to help create the esports channel, and then just go down the list. Just like Aaron Locks is supporting the U Sports Mastery show. Reminds me, hold on. Go ahead and put that logo up. That's our U Sports or YPN. And then we'll go back to our regular scheduled program. So if you are interested, I'm going to play a little short promo, and this kind of helps you understand where we're going with this. So if you're interested in becoming a strategic partner with the Daily Parks and Rec Show, aka DPRS Media Company, let's go create something special for this industry that they can call home. So here's our promo for that, and then I'll close out the show.
At DPRS Media Co, we believe Parks and Recreation isn't just a service, it's the heartbeat of our communities. We exist to honor the people, the vendors, and the leaders shaping the future of Parks and Rec. Our mission is simple: to tell their stories, highlight their careers, and celebrate their essential work. Our vision is bold: to be the trusted hub where leaders, vendors, and communities unite, inspiring innovation, sharing wisdom, and building a stronger, healthier nation. Through over 220 live shows and 6 weekly series, the Leadership Series, Facility Maintenance, Young Professionals Network, Youth Sports Mastery, The Rec Room, and Growing Leaders, plus our industry-leading newsletter, the weekly Parks and Rec Post, we're building a media platform made for the Parks and Rec community. And now, we're inviting strategic partners to co-create this story with us. As a partner, you'll gain 12 hours of annual live exposure with custom shows highlighting your expertise, polished 60-second promos refined for maximum impact, year-round visibility with dozens of replays across our media network, premium features in our newsletter, and amplified social media reach across LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. This is your chance to educate, inspire, and lead while connecting directly with the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. This is DPRS Media Co. Let's build the future of Parks and Rec together.
All right, so if that's something that interests you, if you are a vendor that's serving the nationwide industry of parks and recreation, reach out to me. We're only accepting 48 strategic partners over the next 12 months. Probably for the next 24 months, we'll stick with those. And we're not allowing basically one vendor from every category. So that if you are saying software, we're only going to allow one software company, and unless somehow it's different software that doesn't really compete, which I know that happens. So reach out to me. We've got a lot of great conversations going on. I think we're in a conversation with 23, maybe 24. And so we're about halfway there as far as people that are serious about let's do this together. Let's create something special for the industry. That's, again, a media content library. It's a 24/7 media network, and we're producing great content, creating content for the industry that they can access forever. And because I know y'all have seen this, if you've attended any Parks and Rec Association state event or the NRPA event or any other nationwide events, and you hear these phenomenal speakers, and you look around and it's like 100 people in the room. Wow, I wish the entire industry could have been here to see this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do long form interviews where we create maybe 12 hours of content on a singular topic that then for decades to come, people can access this wisdom. And you've all seen those instructional videos on YouTube, and you click on it and this thing was made 5 years ago and it's still relevant today. And so there's a lot of evergreen content that we could create and all the different topics of parks and recreation. All right, so I think that's all I have for y'all today. Again, I had an internet problem, have to do this from a coffee house, but it's a good prep for me to go live at the NRPA convention. And as I said before, let me throw this list up there again. This is all the people that we're interviewing for the NRPA convention coming up. We still have a lot of slots left open on Wednesday. I haven't started to push to promote that too much, because all the ones I have right now were just kind of popped up through my contact list, but it will fill up before the show. We're going to have at least 15 to 20 minute live interviews airing live from the NRPA convention coming up in Orlando here in a couple of weeks. So if you'd like to hop in on that, just reach out to me on LinkedIn and we'll get you, kind of hold your spot. So, all right, that's all I have for y'all today. Again, this is Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show, signing off with another great episode. And then we have a full slate Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we have leadership series. We also have, of course, Aaron Locks is doing his Youth Sports Mastery show every Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. But I will see y'all here again tomorrow. Again, thank you for all the love and support. Love you guys. You have a great day. Thanks. Bye.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product, growing your presence in public spaces, targeting cities, counties, or departments, DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion Parks and Rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move Parks and Rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.